Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 5th of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, that of course being episode 9, and it not being, of course, as well as The Last Jedi when it came to the box office, Disney actually took the creative power away from Kathleen Kennedy, giving fans a new hope that new Star Wars movies and TV shows could very well look for the best when it comes to this new Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney and Lucasfilm is that yes, it is definitely obvious that Bob Iger and Bob Chaypek really want to restructure Star Wars as we know it. We do know that they have plans to evolve it into something completely new, something refreshing, but at the same exact time, how it's going to feel just like Star Wars still. And that one of the biggest changes behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm is that Bob Chapek has been really working very hard on introducing new Star Wars Legends material to make a big comeback and a major return in the new Star Wars Expanded Universe, and not just that, allowing George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni to all work together as a team and form this alliance to create a better and brighter future for the Star Wars franchise and moving forward. So that's one of the main reasons, I guess, as to why I'm more optimistic and very much hopeful and excited about the future is because, well, Kathleen Kennedy is only going to be involved with 2 Star Wars TV shows out of the dozens that they have planned in the early works as we speak. You know, they plan to have Star Wars last forever. That's what they want. They want the same exact scenario with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So with that being said, now that the Skywalker saga is over as far as the films go, both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek have been hard at work on developing their new Star Wars universe and creating plans to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world. Now, it's explained that recently Bob Chapek separated the Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy into 3 separate single Star Wars movies, and that Johnson's initial version of his trilogy was put to an end. Now, it's explained that even though his script was not developed, Rian Johnson created many concepts and ideas before his version of the trilogy was cancelled. It's described that Johnson was going to use many of the ideas from Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy for the High Republic era, and that his trilogy would involve a brand new warrior, or warriors, that would ride dinosaurs as a form of transportation in a brand new galaxy far, far away. These warriors were not going to be Jedi, but rather something completely new that would be more primitive, that would not use lightsabers or advanced weapons. The trilogy was also going to introduce Rian Johnson's own version of the Wills, who are godlike beings, and that Johnson was going to call them the Spectators. These spectators would be godlike beings that would control the events of the trilogy between good and evil, that would be similar to George Lucas's The Wills and more. Also, Johnson was going to introduce the concept of a multiverse, which I'm not quite sure if that's the best idea, in his new trilogy that would also tap directly into time travel, where he would use some of his experience from the film Looper. These warriors were going to use weapons like bow and arrows in space without using blasters and such. I don't know about you guys, but to me, this sounds like it really is out of touch with Star Wars, and sounds more like mixing the real world with science fiction a little bit here. Now, the thing about this is that Johnson was going to apply the concept of these warriors riding dinosaurs as a main form of transportation, and honestly guys, I mean, I really can't look at this seriously in any way, shape, or form. You know, when you think about it this way, having warriors riding dinosaurs, the only vibe that I get is combining a science fiction franchise with Jurassic Park. That's the only thing that I really see out of this, and how Johnson was going to use a lot of Kathleen Kennedy's original ideas from Star Wars The High Republic era. It just shows you how Johnson also really doesn't necessarily care about universes. He himself even talked about this, I don't know if you guys caught this interview about 4 to 5 months ago, is that Johnson has no care in the world for universes. He doesn't really mind that. He doesn't care about that. He just wants to focus on whatever he's creating, and that's it. And that's why The Last Jedi, in a sense, almost felt like an indie movie at times. I don't know about you guys, but to me it felt like an indie movie many times before. Independent films have their own kind of style and their own feel to it all. So Rian Johnson's indie take on The Last Jedi really didn't work out so well when it came to many of the scenes that he applied. Now, the thing about this trilogy that he was going to develop, of how he was going to throw in multiverses and these warriors using primarily bow and arrows in space and not lightsabers, and how he was going to have his own version of the Wills being called the Spectators. It just seems way too out of touch with Star Wars, and a little way too, I guess you could say, overblown to even be associated with Star Wars. I think that, yes, this could maybe work as like a movie on the Sci-Fi Channel or something like that, or something around those lines, maybe something on Netflix, I don't know. But it does not work for Star Wars, at least in my book, and that's just how I see things. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.